All right, so this is our second class, and I mainly want to begin just by kind of going over some of the specifics and making sure everybody has partners and understands how presentations work and seeing if there's any questions. Um, so the first thing, are there any questions about anything we went over last week, the syllabus, anything we went over in the lecture, um, how to program a DVR? All right, well, that's good. Yeah,
Sure. The discussion questions are just for online people only?
no,
No.
they're for everybody. So why do you think why was it say that in the syllabus? I want to make sure there's not a mistake. No, I'm just asking, did it say that in the syllabus? Oh, well, now I have to find out where it said it. Let's see. Um, okay, this part says discussion boards 20%. Let's see the description. Oh, that's somebody else put that in. Wow, thanks for catching that. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so that's important. Yeah, I'm going to change that. Some other professor put that in there. All right. So there's not going to be one every week. Uh, and the discussion boards are normally not about the material. They're normally like an exercise. Like this discussion board, we're going to have you do some dream analysis. So they should be fun, hopefully. But yeah, I'm glad you said that. That's fantastic.
Actually, syllabus each time one of them is due.
If a discussion board's on D2L, it's due before next class. It's not like an assignment with a due date. It's a weekly thing. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you'll be looking at D2L anyway and watching library films, and you just kind of go through D2L and everything that's on it you do. Yeah. So, all right, that's great. Thank you. All right. Um, yeah, I hate it when they make changes like that and don't tell us. Okay. So, any other questions? All right. So, yeah, I mean, the only discussion board you've had is kind of introductions. So I'm sure everybody gets full credit for that if you did it. Who are you? All right. So just kind of want to go over what's on D2L. So we've got notes for Freud, but you also had the opportunity under last week to download all the notes at once. But it's a big file. So I also divided it by theorist. Um, and then I'm going to record this lecture and I'm going to post it later tonight, you know, as 2024 fall. Um, but you will also notice that there's two other lectures up there, but at the end it says old. So the reason I keep them up there is sometimes students say, oh, I can't access your class lecture for whatever reason. Maybe there's a glitch in the link or something like that. So you've got two other opportunities. So it's pretty much the same information. I might tell a different story, but overall, you'll get the lecture if for some reason today's lecture doesn't work. Or sometimes I forget to push record. So, so we'll always have a lecture up there. So whenever you're looking for it, if you're online, if you're here in person, don't worry about it. But, if you're watching it online, you'll always have a lecture. We've got the regular PowerPoints, not as many this time because it's only one chapter at a time after you get through those introductory chapters. Now, the one thing I would like to caution everybody is like I've had students tell me that, oh, sometimes I'll just play your videos because it puts my kid to sleep. So yeah, don't do that with this course because like talking about Freud, there's some material we're going to talk about that children should not hear. I'm going to tell some stories, that you got to be over 18 to hear the story. Not because I'm into that subject, it's Freud. You can't help it. So, yeah, don't let your kids watch the videos or the lectures or anything like that. Okay. And so I will sometimes, if I can find a video of the videos at our library change. If I can find a video of the theorist actually counseling somebody, that's what I want you to see. There's some famous ones. They're called the Gloria tapes. They start with Rogers, person-centered, Ellis, and Fritz Perls, so REBT and Gestalt. And then he has more modern ones. So they call them the Gloria tapes because Gloria is the client. So they want you to see those three theories with the same client. So you can compare and contrast and see which one you like best. After that, they're called the Linda tapes because the client is Linda. And they have like Lazarus multimodal, they have Glasser, and a few other famous theorists counseling Linda. So our library does not have those, so I usually use a YouTube link, but because of the copyright, sometimes it gets deleted from YouTube. So I have it on DVD, but I can't, put it online because of copyright. So the best I can do is a link to YouTube. So the earlier theorists that came out before Carl Rogers and person-centered, we really just have interviews with the theorists or videos about them because they predate video, basically. So with Freud, I found a nice little documentary on Freud from the library. So watch it. It's kind of interesting because you get to see, a video of Freud's office and the famous, chair or lounge where he would do psychoanalysis. And so they're kind of interesting videos to watch. And the other thing I put on here that everybody should also watch is a student sample for your presentations. So you can see what one's like. So this is a sample of two students using psychoanalysis and presenting on that for the class. And so these are student samples. They're not all perfect, but it's okay. They were good enough to get an A. They didn't have to redo them. So you can see different student styles and dynamics. They're all acceptable. I got their permission to post it. Yeah, so watch that. One thing I do want to caution everybody is you can probably do okay in this class just by doing my notes and watching my lecture. But in order for me to be allowed to give you an A, D2L has to show that you accessed all of the material. So I've had students, I was about ready to give them an A, and then I looked and they accessed less than 50% of the material. So, you have to watch the videos from the library. You have to watch the videos I post from students. You have to, at least click on and download the notes. You have to look at the PowerPoint. So you have to actually access it. And you can't, the student version of D2L, if you click on it, look at it for a few seconds and exit it, it'll tell you accessed it and it'll give you 100%. But the professor's version isn't like that. It says, oh, you accessed this for 2 minutes. So even though yours says, oh, okay, it's 100%, I get credit for it. No. If it's a half-hour video, it tells me whether you watched it for a minute or a half an hour. So you do actually have to watch everything and access everything. Because I don't want to be the guy that shows you a screenshot and says, this is what D2L says, I try to do it early so that you can go and fix it, but it's a lot of material to watch during finals week. All right. So that's just a little clarification on the material. You'll notice there is a discussion board for Freud, but hopefully it's a fun one. So let me just give you an example. It says discussion board for week 2, dream analysis exercise. Listen to the part of the lecture regarding this exercise. Try it with a friend by yourself or by yourself. Discuss what you discovered. Use my therapeutic dream method, not Freud's. And then it says, provide some personal insights in response to the book, chapter, posted readings, videos, notes, or audio lecture. The main thing's the exercise, but I would like to hear your response to maybe something I said in the lecture or maybe the video from the library. I don't want to hear like what you learned. I want to hear your response to what you learned. Like you might say, I think Freud was crazy. I think Freud is diagnosable. Well, he is, but I want to hear your personal response to the material. I know what it says, but I kind of want to hear what you think about it. So yeah, but the main thing is the exercise. So hopefully that'll be fun, and you'll learn a new way of dream analysis. So. All right, questions about this week's D2L? Yeah. If you click on Theory Class 2 content, it's everything under Theory Class 2. Yeah. So it is all on Freud because we're only going over Freud Class 2. Yeah. What else? All right. So I'm going to stop the recording and start over so we can do the lecture on Freud. I can find it. There.